Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey, guys. All right, what you are looking at is an Ampex VR 7500 color-compatible 1-inch video machine. These came out in the mid-'60s, and while I'm at it with the skip field unit, which you're seeing previous videos on, we did do some transfers of some Apollo 14 missions that were transferred and recovered off of this machine. Now, mind you guys, at the time, NASA also had these type of recorders. So the tapes that you're about to see, I believe, were recorded off air at NASA. And then I transferred them off to files. Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys a cleaned up version of those files. I know you might have seen it. But we're going to clean them up and de-interlace the files because there is interlacing in the video. And that's very prevalent for this type of machine, and drop out the noise and all that kind of stuff. But this is a very unique type of video format. It's a 1-inch videotape, black and white, color compatible. It's from the mid-'60s, and it's an Ampex machine. Very proud of this machine because I rebuilt this machine brand new, all new parts inside, along with the one I have over here. And I'm one of the only leading people in the entire country that can actually do these properly. These are very scarce machines, and none of them work. I mean, none of them. So, anyways, I want to show you some videos. We're going to show you the restored versions of the Apollo 14 after the cleanup process using the Da Vinci and all the other type of tools. And so let's take a look at this. And like I said, guys, with these old black and white videos with the glitches and scratches and all that kind of stuff, we're able to do a lot of cleanup and remastering of these videos. So check this out.
Don't have the amps that ECS Tyson lines. So they're on. Are they? Oh, I see. You got them on dim. Okay. Just try to see them over there. Okay. Getting a water flag clear here in a minute. Okay, my PGA is getting down to about usable pressure up 4.3 now. What's your set? Okay, reading 4.2. And we'll be able to work in a minute. Okay, first morning status is good. We have a water step light. We have CCS.
Ed, this is Houston. We're showing your feed water pressure going up. You ought to be in business shortly.
Roger. Water pressure, water flag just cleared. Great. Outstanding. How's yours, Al? Your water flag about to clear? No.
Okay, and Al's pressure is rising now. It ought to clear momentarily.
Okay, Al's water flag is clear. Okay.
Beautiful.
This depressurization procedure normally takes about 10 minutes, and they're a little better than halfway through the procedure now.
Okay. Waiting on unseated to dim. Okay. Dim, stop the DET. Alright, DET is stopped. Okay. Forward hatch rest of the way open. Ready? Your leg right there. Okay, forward hatch is open. Lower your visor. Let me get it. Get a trim and you get that. Yeah. You. That's fine. Okay, can you get everything now? Okay. See that guy.
This is Shepard, who goes out first. You hear Mitchell talking to Shepard. Let me help you, he says.
Right way? Okay, very good. I'll get your input as you go out. Alrighty, starting out the door.
He's got nine steps down to the moon surface.
Okay, come on over. There you go. Now you're clear. Get your head down as soon as you can. Back right on out. That's great. Wait a minute, let me get your antenna. Hold it. Okay? You'll have to get mine when I come out. Okay. You're clear. One out. Okay, clear that. Give me the jettison die. Roger, let me get over here on the other side so I can get to it. Oops.
The jettison bag has materials the crew will not use on lunar exploration.
I'm hung up on something else. Probably that's the door handle. I got it loose now. Okay, very good. Okay, jettison bag coming at you. Okay. Okay, I've got it. Now standing by for the LEC. Okay.
Rope-looking thing they tossed out is the LEC, the Lunar Equipment Carrier. They stretch that out kind of like a clothesline and hoist things back and forth on it. Heavier equipment hoisted down to the lunar surface and back up to the ascent stage to bring back home with them the rock samples and that equipment they do bring home. Not very much of it. Most of it's left on the
Shepard
moon.
will be throwing the equipment conveyor belt.
While he's working on the LEC, let me comment that it certainly is a stark place here at Fromorrow. I think it's made all the more stark by the fact that the sky is completely black.
Roger.
That's one of the reasons we don't wax poetic. You get a plain Roger back from a rather great statement.
Out of the bag. And it's deployed. And standing by to deploy the Mesa. And the Mesa has released. Mesa has released properly, Houston.
Roger, Al.
Starting down the ladder.
That carries the equipment and the scientific packages that they will put out on the moon. It also contains
The Mesa has been deployed.
color camera, which they will be turning on shortly now. We hope we'll get some early pictures.
Okay, Al, beautiful. We can see you coming down the ladder right now. It looks like you're about on the bottom step. And on the surface.
Apparently Houston's seeing pictures are not feeding to us yet.
Okay, you're right.
There they are.
Alma's on the surface, and it's been a long way, but we're here.
It's been a long way for Al Shepard.
And I can see the reason we have a tilt is because we landed on the slope. The landing gear struts appear to be about evenly depressed.
Roger out.
And moving around, getting familiar with the surface. Surface in which the forward footpad landed is extremely soft. Matter of fact, it's in a small depression. The soil is so soft that it comes up all the way to the top of the footpad, and even folded over the side to some degree. The same is true of the plus Y strut.
Roger.
Okay, we'll move on over. Take a look at From Morrow. Take a look at Cone Crater, I should say, which is right where it should be, and is a very impressive sight.
And Terry, this is Houston. You are go for two-man EVA. Over.
Roger, Houston, thank you. And continuing, we can see the boulders on the rim. It looks as though we have a good traverse route up to the top of Cone. I can see Cone Ridge going along to the north. That's very apparent.
The camera's in a fixed position and will remain so throughout the two walks on the moon, but
I'm moving over to adjust the mesa.
they will move it from time to time to cover as much of the area as it can cover, area in which they are working. Right now, they have not come to this first movement of the camera yet, and as a consequence, you're not seeing Al Shepard in these pictures that now show just the landing ladder from the lunar module hatch. Now he looks like he's doing something with the camera.
Finishing up my circuit breaker check. We'll be ready to go out shortly.
Roger, Ed.
You heard Ed Mitchell get his go to leave the spacecraft as well a moment
The
ago.
mesa is adjusted. Going over to remove the Met blanket.
The Met is the mobile equipment transporter.
I think that's more fun to say rickshaw there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm starting out. Okay?
Mitchell coming out now.
Great picture, though. That's of Shepard. Like he's working right on the camera, and out in the back, we ought to see Mitchell coming down the ladder.
I think that tilt is coming from this hinged door that this modularized equipment compartment's on. And you see that as Al tries to move the Met off, or rickshaw, whichever.
Yeah, in other words, as he works at
the mesa up slightly now to get the Met, which is a pull cart, out from under it.
As John McLeish is saying, he's working on the mesa.
We can see you coming down the ladder now.
It's very great to be coming down.
Roger, bottom step.
Kind of bouncing along in that 1/6 gravity.
Boom.
Whoop.
The last one is a long one. that check, very easy to do. Little push and just spring right up.
This is part of their testing. This isn't just for fun and games.
Got there with those lightweight units.
They test and get used to this 1/6 gravity there at the foot of the ladder.
Yeah, they did too. That's great.
Al, this is Houston. Have you released the Met yet? Over.
He's releasing it now. Okay, Houston, the Met is finally clear of the Mesa. Al, I'm going to come over. How about getting my antenna out before I lose Tom here in a minute? Okay? If I go around the corner or something. He just dropped this baby over here. Okay?
The Met will be placed on one of the foot pads.
The Met again's a mobile transporter, little two-wheeled cart.
It is bright up, son, isn't it? Okay, if you'll stop here a minute, I'll get your antenna out.
What many people don't realize is how many hours they spend rehearsing this maneuver too, as well as flying the spacecraft. Each of these techniques is practiced over and over.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Houston, the Mesa has been stowed on the plus Y footpad.
Roger, out.
And going back to adjust the Mesa.
As they unload some of these bits of equipment, for instance, this mobile transporter, they put it over on one of the foot pads. It makes kind of a handy little
Mobility is
tray for them to work with.
very great under this crushing 160 load, Houston.
Roger.
Shepard now adjusting the television.
And looking at Cone Crater, where I was looking a short time ago, it doesn't appear there's going to be any trouble getting the Met up Cone Crater.
Backup crew copies.
They do the troops and I knew they would.
See Ed
They
Mitchell
knew the troops
bouncing
on the
around the
ground
background.
would be glad to hear that.
Backup crew here in Mission Control.
Okay, and here comes the lens
Okay,
cap.
the Mesa blanket is coming off. You'll lose,
Oh, Roger, Mesa blanket.
you'll lose television for a moment. Okay, that's beautiful.
Discussion about the Met, there must have been a controversy between the prime and the backup getting up Cone Crater or not.
Yeah.
There's always a subtle meaning in these so-called terse broadcasts.
You've broken the code.
Okay, senor.
The foil coating now off the Mesa.
I hope somebody thought about that bright reflection, that
Looking at that.
foil coating. They could get a bounce off that bright sun and knock off that lens again.
They've made a compensation on the lens this time as well, so we shouldn't have the same potential risk.
Back on. And barely. Great. Okay, the lens cap is going on now, Houston. We set up the tripod.
Terry, this is Houston. Request EMU status check here.
Put a cap on the lens of the color television camera from which we're getting such magnificent pictures. This is to, when they move it, prevent it from being aimed at the sun and, as happened on Apollo 12, being burned out.
Roger, men cooling.
This is our simulation of what's going on about now. In a moment, we'll have the live pictures again, just as soon as Shepard has it set up.
CDR here is 81%. CDR is 81%. 3.75. No flags. Min cooling.
Roger out.
They're reading out
You're looking
the
good down here.
quantities of coolant and
Shepard now
of
setting the TV up on a tripod.
oxygen left in their portable life support system that should last over 4 hours.
Hello. Getting that television. I'll go ahead and get my contingency sample. Get it out of the way.
And CBS News color coverage of Shepard and Mitchell's first lunar excursion will continue in a moment.
Tang brings you the morning as few men have seen it. The sight of our own planet coming up over a strange horizon in space. Earthrise. Now 2 more men will see it. And with them, Tang, the orange-flavored instant breakfast drink with more vitamin C than orange juice. Nutritious Tang for spacemen and Earth families.
CBS News color coverage of the flight of Apollo 14 will continue in a moment. This is CBS.
Saturday night at 10:30, Bogart.
Oh, no, you won't. You've had your last chance, and you take this with you. I never let go of those papers. All you had to do was bump me off.
Bogart at his best. This Saturday night, Angels with Dirty Faces, also starring James Cagney and Pat O'Brien. Saturday at 10:30 on channels 10 and 11.
For fine country music, join the Wilburn Brothers at 5 tomorrow on channels 10 and 11.
News special report. 10 years later. The flight of Apollo 14. Sponsored by Western Electric, the people who make communications equipment for the Bell system. And Tang, the nutritious breakfast drink for breakfast tomorrow. Here again is Walter Cronkite.
Down in Houston at Mission Control, they were just asking if the lens cap was still on the TV camera.
Get a view of the mesa and ladder area on Antares.
The voice you hear from Mission Control is that of the voice of Apollo, John McLeish.
Okay, it's about 50 feet, I'd say. Why don't we get all the cable out while we're at it?
And they're going to have a television picture again in just a moment, it looks as if.
Get the contingency sample folded up.
You can see on that screen
The television
up
being
there
positioned about 50 feet out.
up in your upper left-hand corner of your picture there of Mission Control. That's a display screen with which Mission Control watches the television pictures. And you can see there that there is some color showing on the screen, and apparently they're adjusting the camera now. The television camera on the moon, of course, is not for the edification and amusement of those
Houston, the lens cap is off. We're
bus laymen. Oh, what a picture.
aiming for the general area of Mesa. Now can you pull this rest of this cable out away from the mesa here? Yeah, we got about 30-foot zoom. How does that look?
Okay, I think you can zoom in a little more. Let's try 40 here. Okay, and on the f-stop, Al, we'd like to stop it down one additional stop. That's toward the higher numbers.
That's Al Shepard adjusting the television camera.
22 to 44, and I'll zoom it in to 40. Stand by.
And that's Ed Mitchell we see out there by the lunar module.
Okay, hold the zoom there, and the position looks good also.
These pictures are, of
Okay, how
course,
about the f-stop?
pictures are tremendously valuable to the scientists and the engineers on the ground.
Is the f-stop satisfactory, Houston?
Al, this is Houston. See if you can stop it down a little more, or run it up, run the diaphragm ring up against the stop there. It's still a little bright.
It's a little hard to adjust the camera with that very bright sun. There's no atmosphere there around the moon to interfere with the sun's rays. It gets up to 240 degrees on the moon at sun zenith.
Al, this is Houston. Request you go to peak control.
Okay, going to peak. Satisfactory?
Okay, Al, now we'd like to open it up to F-22.
If you've ever had your wife sitting across the room and while you adjust a color television set, imagine what Al Shepard's going through with mission control 238,000 miles away telling him what to set up.
Of course, this is where I'd like to vindicate myself from way back, but I was anticipating the day that I'd watch television on the moon. I was accused of not wanting television in space.
I remember. He said bitterly.
The only thing is, I didn't know I was supposed to turn it on that day. I can recall very vividly in a meeting, now about 88 years ago.
Would you confirm that you're at F-22 now?
Anticipating the day that I'd be sitting watching the Sun Contemporary on the moon.
Confirming that I'm in peak and that I'm at F-22.
While Shepard's doing this, what Mitchell's been doing in the background is gathering contingency samples. That is, he's going ahead and picking up rock samples from right around the lunar module and soil samples.
And while we're waiting for the television adjustments, the 230 position, approximately 50 feet where the camera is slightly uphill. We see that the LEM did, in fact, land on sort of a downslope.
Al, this is Houston.
Almost a basin. Go ahead.
Roger, Al, this is Houston. We'd like to go back to average and F-44, stop it down all the way, and then leave it there.
Incidentally, for any of you viewers at home who are trying to take photographs of the lunar walks from your TV screen,
Roger, and back
if
to
you're
the zoom
using
out to
color
about
film with
35.
an ASA of 80 to 160, it's recommended using f-stop of 2.8 to 4, with a speed of 1/15th of a second. Repeat that. If it's color film, ASA 80 to 160, f-stop of 2.8 to 4, at a speed of 1/15th of a second. And they tell us for black and white film with an ASA of 160 to 400, use an f-stop of 4 to 8 with a speed of 1/15th of a second. Good luck to you.
Very fine grain. And as we mentioned before, there are very few samples that have any size at all. Mostly hand sample size and rocks of generally 1 to 2 inches or less. Houston, as you can see, the SRC table is deployed. TV is emptied, and I'm putting the LiO canisters in it now.
Roger, Ed, and you did leave the contingency sample on the ladder?
That's affirmative, that's where it is. Yes, it looks as though we landed in a fairly rough place. Yes, indeed it does. Evidenced by the fact you dug your front landing gear into a hole.
Peak heart rates for both crew members were just off the ladder. Shepard 120, Mitchell 124, both reading now in the 70 to 85 range.
And Houston, I have the SWC out and starting up to deploy it.
Roger, Ed.
Great.
Still in your field of view.
Bugs Bunny walking.
Affirmative.
Mitchell deploying the solar wind experiment now.
Almost look as if they're skipping for joy. And I suspect they are.
Okay, Al is bringing the S-band antenna around.
Roger, Al, we're watching you.
Positioning.
Of course, there
Shepard
isn't
moving towards us now.
any wind on the moon, but there is a movement. Well, maybe you can explain it to us a little more, what the solar wind experiment is that they pick up on this aluminum foil.
Well, there are streams of particles always streaming out from the sun, and they're trying to pick up these particles as bits of the sun
Now
itself.
setting up the erectable S-band antenna.
It's a wind. It'll push you. That is, if you set a big sail in space, it will push.
It will?
Yes, very slowly, but
Yeah.
very surely.
I recall being in a long discussion with Dr. von Braun about the fact that maybe an naval officer could have a career in way out space and sail with a solar wind panel about the size of 4 or 5 football fields, and eventually the acceleration or the slight change in velocity would cause you to move about.
A colleague of mine has
Roger, Ed.
just invented a
114.
microbalance that uses light pressure to zero it. Pushes on it with light.
They're setting up a 10-foot
Solar wind experiment now positioned by Ed Mitchell.
S-band antenna, and that should improve the reception a little bit, although it's quite good at the time. And it also serves as the continuing antenna then for the scientific station that they will set up on the moon, which will last for well over a year. The nuclear powered, we'll see them set up the nuclear power station very shortly.
One of the interesting things I'm noticing here, we have a very good picture from the moon, is the dust flying about and the way the men are hopping. And I recall some of the uninformed, at least, people who are skeptics, thinking that these were all pictures taken on Earth of people on the moon. It's very difficult to move that way, and it's also impossible to make dust move that way.
Roger, Ed.
Very soon now they'll be switching transmissions over to that erectable antenna they're putting up now, and setting up the laser reflector, which permits with laser beams exact measurements of the distance from the moon and the wobble of the moon and the Earth. CBS News color coverage of today's walk on the moon will continue in a moment.
These are the people who make the things your phone calls are made of. The people of Western Electric, over 200,000 of us. Our job in the Bell system is to make telephones, intricate communications equipment,
and millions of things that are needed to connect one phone with another in the world's largest telephone network, the Bell Telephone Network. The people of Western Electric. We make Bell telephones and other things to help you reach just about any place in the country.
We're getting live color pictures from the moon. First time.
More at forest penetration, and did you meet any rocks or anything like that?
This is capsule communicator Bruce McCandless.
To run any kind of an experiment.
Roger, I copy.
Forcing the legs down, I just
Ed Mitchell had said he expected to talk all the way on these
Shepard
walks.
has positioned the antenna legs into the lunar surface.
But we're not hearing exactly a running line of patter from him. He was brilliant, I thought, in describing the moon from the landed craft.
Looks more like a kangaroo.
now you're too far away. I should have more cable than that. Hung up. Okay, how we with respect to the cable? I'm afraid you're too far away. Well, go on to get maximum length. So moving on in. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, I wanted it up too. This is all. Oh, good, Al. Okay, we'll bring it in. But over here, right about in here anywhere, it'd probably do it.
Well, these walks on the moon aren't exactly strolls in the sunshine. They work pretty hard up there.
Well, you realize they're really inside of that suit. It's about 3.75, 3 3/4 pounds of pure oxygen, which inflates the suit to preserve an environment that they can breathe in. That was one of my specialties in the old days, was developing those, but there's the antenna deploying. You're safe down to about 2.5 pounds, and you start getting a little trouble breathing.
I'll get it unhung for you. All right.
But the higher the pressure, the stiffer the suit.
Okay, lower it on down. Okay. It's going.
I have a little trouble opening up that antenna. It's supposed to unfold sort of like a parasol, upside down parasol. There it is.
All kinds of freebies in today's simulation.
Roger, we got the boys in the back room working overtime.
The antenna pops out like an upside-down umbrella.
What I was referring to, the freebies, is that they probably had to do this once before simulating it to help deploy that antenna. Tilt it over.
Okay. Sure you got it?
We've got the boys in the back room working overtime. They've had a lot of little problems here that try to line up and correct for the next flight.
Looking at that antenna, you must realize that we are up from them. That antenna theoretically should be looking at Earth. The parabola, the actual point above them should be the waveguide that brings us signal.
Okay, there's Earth, way up there.
They're aiming at the Earth.
Yeah, there's that lot. Let's get close. Let me get on the glass. Okay, got a tree to the left a little more.
Seen a picture from the moon of there aiming that thing back at us at Earth.
Wait a minute, because that changes the whole deal.
They've had trouble with this thing now. It's taken them a lot
Shepard
longer
giving
than
an eyeball alignment towards Earth.
planned, and it was thought that Shepard would be able to do this by himself. So this spacewalk is running behind schedule, even as did the egress from the spacecraft itself.
My OPS is hitting it. All right, just a second. Let me back it off. Let me just go just a little bit. Okay, that's about it for azimuth. I'll come down a little bit. Okay. Let me just check, see which way you want to go. Yeah, pretty soon. Okay. Okay, coming down a little bit. Good job. Hold it. Back up just a bit. Right there. Okay, I have the Earth centered. Okay. Okay, Houston. Four-sided the Earth, dark side and all.
This is Houston, roger.
Hey, the stand antenna has been erected and aligned, and the cable has been attached. And I'll go back in the switch.
Roger, Ed.
Okay.
And we'd like to get an EMU status report as you go by.
Okay, the CDR is reading 3.75, reading 7.6 on the O2. I have no flags. I'm still a minimum flow and I'm comfortable. Okay, this is Ed. I'm reading 375. About 75% the O2. No flags. Minimum cooling, and I'm very comfortable too. Roger out.
That's a good point. System really on there.
The figures you'll see from time to time on the screen of the length of time of the walk are timed from the depressurization of the cabin, and that's completed, and not the actual walk of the men on the moon. There's an extra 10 minutes figured in there. Shepard stepped down on the moon's surface at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's 33 minutes from 33 minutes ago.
Mark, 45 minutes since cabin depress.
Hey, Bruce, is any appreciable dust flying off of these boots? I'd like not to take all that dirt in there.
I didn't notice any on the TV.
Okay.
Mitchell is going back into the cabin now to turn on the S-band radio, the transmitter that has just been erected, the transmitter that feeds through this antenna that has just been erected. And he will also then transfer further equipment from the lunar module out to Shepard.
And Houston, I'm back in the limb.
That's Mitchell.
Roger, Ed.
Not a great deal of problem. I'm getting ready to switch to lunar stay. Give me a call, and if I don't hear you in about 30 seconds, we'll go back.
Ed, this is Houston. You go to switch to lunar stay. Go ahead.
Lunar stay being the code words for this transmitter through the antenna you've just seen.
And Houston, this is Ed. How do you read?
Loud and clear, Ed.
Okay, you're on the erectable antenna.
Roger, and how are you reading us?
Loud and clear.
Beautiful.
Actually, whereas a moment ago it would appear that they were running behind schedule,
I'm ready for the ETB most anytime.
they aligned much faster than had been anticipated, and they're now back on schedule.
Shepard now transferring the contingency sample up the conveyor belt, the first lunar material to go to the limb.
I almost picked up 10 minutes, in fact, from
Did the
depressurization.
contingency sample get in there?
That's affirmative. Would never do for us to leave that one behind, Bruce. Okay, well, Bruce is loading up the ETB. Who?
Don't I wish it?
Ed is loading up the ETB.
That was a kid line.
Well, Ed is loading up the ETB. I'll describe the general mining site. We are, in fact, in a low area. There seems to be a general swale or a wide valley between the triplet craters and the doublet craters. And we are on the downhill side at this particular point. It levels off at a lower elevation to the west of the limb, approximately 15 feet lower there, and then it starts back up to the rim of doublet. It's a very uneven mining area here, and of course, like all other sections of the moon, it's pockmarked by tremendous amount of craters. The surface here, as we pointed out, is mostly fines, and I hate to discuss any kind of lineations here in the immediate vicinity of the limb because I can see very definite indications of the radial dust pattern caused by the descent engine. I don't see any other lineal patterns as such right here in the area. There are perhaps half a dozen fairly large rocks at the 1 o'clock position from the limb. But perhaps they're ejected from cone, although they don't seem to have any particular ray patterns. They probably are ejected from doublet, since they appear to be closer to doublet than they do triplet. They are a lighter gray in material. The material is lighter gray in color, and I'm certain that we'll get some of those samples on the way back from all deployment. It's very difficult to assess any kind of stratigraphy in cone right now, looking back at it, because we're looking at the sun at a low sun angle, and it's just not the right direction to view that crater. We're looking for a stratigraphy. But there certainly are boulders on it. From here it looks as though they're at least 20 feet in diameter perhaps, at least the ones we can see here on the western slope. They appear to be grouped fairly close to the rim of the crater, and not too many large boulders on down the sides of the slopes, the outside rim. Again, it looks as though the plane was traveling slowly forward and slowly to the right. As you'll see from the photograph, that's the direction of the landing gear probes as they're bent. The footpad plus Y, for example, has a drag pattern of approximately 1 foot in the dust. Okay, Al, I got it loaded. I'm about ready to start down with it now. Okay? Just another minute. straps and is being a great major headache.
Mitchell has been loading up the bag of
Before you start transferring, you want to verify contents in the ATV?
cameras and other equipment in an ETV equipment transfer bag, and he'll lower it down to Alan Shepard.
2 Hasselblads.
CBS News color coverage, a man's fourth walk on the moon, will continue in a moment.
Tang presents tomorrow. Imagine living, actually living, for 56 days in outer space. Eating and sleeping and working, in orbit around the Earth. Someday, 3 astronauts will.
Go ahead with the coordinates.
Right here, aboard Skylab, the first manned space station. During this incredible mission, they will find out what types of work man can perform during extended flights. They will learn how the human body reacts to weightlessness over long periods of time. And on board this space shot of the future, they will have Tang, the orange-flavored instant breakfast drink with more vitamin C than orange juice. The same Tang that's on your kitchen table. Nutritious Tang for breakfast tomorrow.
We're listening to the voice of the astronauts from the moon, 238,000 miles out there, and live color pictures.
About 3 feet to the southeast of the current location of the bell. That's probably where the bus was when the engine was cut off. And the LEM slowly drifted to the northwest from there. As perhaps you can see from your camera, Houston, the view off to the south is undulating hills, and I would estimate that hill back there to the south is, perhaps 100 feet higher than we are. Roger. Okay, Al, I'm ready to bring this down. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Let it come gently. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, just a second here. We'll get a little more attention. Coming over the sill. Oh, a little more attention, please. There you are. Okay. Coming over the steps now. Okay. Where are the steps? And I'll take it down slowly. You have it in hand. Negative. Hold it right there for a minute. Okay, ease it down a couple of feet.
All the fancy equipment, several $100 million worth of it involved, and we use a clothesline to get the equipment down to the surface of the moon.
All right, coming out again.
It's kind of ironical.
Okay, give Al a few
Get
seconds.
back to the simplest way of doing things, and that apparently is the efficient way.
The equipment bag down now as advertised. We're at 56 minutes since cabin depress. The bag being attached to the mesa now.
I gather this camera is a little bit north and west of the lunar module, north and east of the lunar module. It's looking southwest.
The cone crater, in other words, would be in back of the camera as you're looking at the scene. Is that the way you see it?
Right, because it's northeast of the lunar module. As a matter of fact, you can see how much difficulty there is getting that camera focused correctly. It's not now, and perhaps can't be focused any better than that in that tremendously bright sun on the moon. They're going to have to turn that camera around and face it up right in toward the sun for the second lunar walk tomorrow. And there's a great deal of doubt they'll be able to do that and get much of a picture for us tomorrow for that walk. We're hoping for the best, but we don't know. And even at best, they'll probably get out of range of the camera very shortly, since they're walking almost a mile from the lunar module tomorrow. That's the cone crater.
Apparently, this brightness causes this fuzzy effect we see. It's not fault of anybody's television set. I'm sure we have a very good one here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'll be going out to plant the flag very shortly now.
I don't know whether you caught the time when Al said, "All right, Bruce, would you pull us up?" And Bruce was saying, "Huh? I wish I were there."
I don't know whether McCandless is ticketed for one of the future flights or not.
Using film.
I just started using film now.
Roger, you on 24?
12.
Roger, 12.
Ed Mitchell coming back down the ladder.
Well, there's a great line on this thing. Of course, Al and I are of the original 7, and Ed Mitchell and Stu Russo consider themselves 2 of the original 19. So the original 19 are getting their licks in today.
They were in the astronaut class of '66, some years after you fellows have made your first flights. Look at that bouncy. Isn't that something?
Tell me when I hit the bottom step and the bottom step. I'm on it. Yep. Oh, okay. What's this, the LR cube? Yes. Okay. And I'm down. Okay, camera stop, Houston.
Roger.
Okay. Up one flag. Okay, we're right on the timeline. Right to the minute. Okay, I'll take the camera while you get the flag set up. Okay. I'll go off to the left over there by the FWC. See it on television. Be the best place, I guess. Okay. F8.
Shepard and Mitchell will deploy the American flag now.
Bruce Morton's in Houston with Colonel Edwin Aldrin. He's going to be with us for the next half hour or so. Colonel Aldrin, of course, was the second man to set foot on the moon, right after Neil Armstrong on the flight of Apollo 11. And Buzz, I'm wondering, I remember how thrilled we were when you placed the flag on the moon, the first American flag. What are your thoughts now?
Well, in a way, I'd like to be up there with them, with the opportunity to put that flag up. That really, as I look back on it, has to be one of the most proudest moments that I ever had in my life.
Is there an urge to go again, Buzz?
Oh, I think any of us in the astronaut group would give just about anything for another opportunity, but we have to be realistic and think in terms of the opportunities that are available for us to participate in the space program in other ways, and the number of people that have put in so much work and deserve their opportunity to go.
It's a great thrill being able to watch this site up there in color, isn't it?
The picture that I'm looking at is extremely good. I'm quite pleased that we're able to get this back.
Thank you, Buzz, and we'll be getting in touch with you from time to time down there as this walk goes on. Thanks so much for being with us.
Very welcome.
Okay. Yeah, we're not going to far around. We're not going to be able to get it with a 16 now. I just put it, down here close by you, huh?
Al, this is Houston. I think it'd look a lot better if you could bring it over closer towards the TV.
Yeah. Put it right here in front of us, Al.
Yeah, maybe on the TV camera side of the lens shadow. At 130, 20 feet. There you go. Beautiful, babe.
Okay. Okay. Camera going here.
The word beautiful becomes a big part of our vocabulary, as you may notice.
Mark is running.
Roger out.
The flag being positioned about 20 feet from Antares.
It's like the press photographer's moving in there.
Look okay?
Notice how quickly they get used to the moon environment. They're moving much better now than they were just 15, 20 minutes ago. Getting to really move out, bouncing across the lunar surface.
Okay. Does it very easily. It does indeed.
Hey, now you're going off camera to the right.
That's Ed Mitchell in our center view.
Good.
Bruce McCann's becoming a pretty good stage director there, isn't he?